think it's time we embrace the concept of grace over guilt. See, I don't know if it's something that you struggle with, but personally, there have been seasons of my life where the guilt I've experienced almost killed me. Straight up. I have suffered from extreme or toxic levels of shame to the point where I thought I didn't deserve to live, that I was a lost cause, that there was nothing more for me to be able to do or to accomplish because I felt so fundamentally messed up that I thought there's nothing for there to be done. Anyways, not to focus on that too much, but at the worst time in my life, I was experiencing suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideation, and in that time, I threw out kind of like a passing prayer, asking God, if there is still an intention for my life, if you could still make use of me, please just show me. Please guide me. Please. I don't know. I don't think there were that many words to it, but I just asked. And in that season, he began to show me how much intention had gone into my life. And he began to slowly highlight to me just how present he has been in my life, regardless of my mistakes, regardless of the paths that I had taken that weren't for my highest good, that he still somehow turned for the best. He still used them to benefit me. He also began to show me the concept of grace, that I'm already forgiven, that any mistake I could ever possibly make has already been accounted for. And that's not to say that I should just live my life anyhow. I do genuinely want to live a life that is pleasing to him, but I recognize that I am also a person. I am a human being having a human experience, responding to the world, being influenced by the world. And although I am not of the world, or I find that I really stick out. I'm different. I'm not like most of the people in the world for different reasons. I still very much am imperfect and bound to fall short. But because I haven't had a lot of examples of people making mistakes and giving themselves grace, and I haven't had explicit or implicit permission to fall flat on my face, get up, and not think of myself as any less valuable because of the mistake. I thought, if I mess up, I am the mistake. If I mess up, it costs me my life, my inherent value as a human being. That I really thought that my lovability was tied to output, tied to being as perfect a version of myself as possible. And because of the impossible standard, I inevitably failed over and over and over again, and began to identify with being a failure, began to identify with the guilt, with the cycle of numbing that guilt, and then trying to rectify, and inevitably again falling flat on my face. And I started to slowly like live a contracted life, like slowly started to back away from anything that could make people look at me too closely. I started to back away from anything that could make me subject to criticism, because I thought I felt that I was fundamentally a screw up. And it's horrible to say that, because over these past couple of years, God has really been showing me what it means to be made in the image of God, what it means to be chosen, what it means to be known by the Lord. And it took me too long. And by too long, I mean the years of grief and shame and self-condemnation, that the years I lost trying to get people to understand me, the years I lost trying to pretend I was somebody else other than who I am, a perfect, idealized version of myself that was exhausting to keep up, that actually forced me into isolation in the seasons where I couldn't be that version of myself. And I thought, I'm alone in the world, which again left me subject to that mental spiral of shame and self-condemnation. Here's why I want you to embrace the narrative of grace. You need to know that you are forgiven. You need to know that your value is inherent and not dependent on what other people think of you. It's not dependent on how other people value you as an adult, in childhood, as a friend, as a sister, as a mother, a daughter. Your value. Yes, you can serve and love and all of those things and bring your best, but your value is inherent. The rest of what you can do is extra. It has to come from an outpouring of an awareness of your inherent value and a heart of service. You thinking of yourself as dirt is such a dishonoring of the creation that you are of the Most High. You are made so intricately, so intentionally, so meticulously, that to think of yourself as disposable and dispensable when so much time and effort and energy and intention has gone into creating you is disrespectful, for one, but it also is just so far opposite from the truth. And I know it might not sound like what I'm saying has any grounds, but I promise you, to some, I promise you, if you were to just take a moment, or if you were to just take a moment, I had a moment of overthinking. I need the reminder not to, but you just take a moment to recognize, what are the chances of you, a singular human being on a planet of 7+ billion people. People are having so many different life experiences. The genetic composition of us all to be in existence, the likelihood, the chances of you having the exact life experiences that you have had to bring you to this point. How many coincidences had to take place for you to be here? If you take a moment to entertain that thought, and you will absolutely begin to realize there's no way. There's no way. The genetic potential for you to exist has existed since the beginning of genes. The chances of the exact combination of genetic material for you to exist has existed far beyond what you and I can comprehend. All the things, the factors that had to come into play in order for you to come into being. I'm not by any means a scientist, a biologist, a physicist. I haven't studied earth and matter and all of those things, but I have to think, even on a shallow level of knowledge with regards to physics and biology, the chances, the likelihood of you coming into being and it just being by chance and it having no meaning when everything in life and in existence serves a function and a purpose. And if you don't know yours, you can ask your creator. And I know not everybody believes in God, but I do challenge you that if your reference point for who God is has been one of pain or confusion or doubt, you can go directly to him and say, I don't know you. I'm not sure if you exist. I would like to know what I was created for. Why am I on this earth? What does my life mean? Please guide me. Please show me. Show me if you hear me. Like, just speak to him. It is an interesting journey. Walking towards faith when you have been surrounded by a culture, environment, family that doesn't really have strong spiritual roots. But I promise you, there will be so much that you will gain from intentionally seeking God, seeking your creator, seeking understanding of who God is and what his plan is for your life. And most of all, there will be so much grace, so much self-forgiveness, so much self-compassion on the other side of you knowing that you are loved inherently, regardless of whatever mistakes you've made, are making, or ever will make. Your lovability in your creator's eyes isn't based on the tangible things. He chose you. Before he formed you in the womb, he knew you. There are a ton of other scriptures of God sharing his heart with his people. I will try to put some up somewhere if I edit this video. If I don't, they will be in the description box below. But please know, on a fundamental note, that you are made with intention, that you are cared for, that you are significant, that you matter, and that